good morning to what is probably going to be, well, the first and only time we're going to be doing this trip. Just before 7 o'clock this morning, a beautiful Easter Monday, and first trip of the season. We're going from the top of Long Lake off the St. Margaret's Bay Road all the way down to home in Heron Cove. The two major challenges for this trip, if you can call it a major trip, is crossing the Old Sambro Road down to Dollarama, and also to cross the Heron Cove Road onto the MacIntosh run by the Spryfield Lions Rink. This is certainly an urban trip, if there ever was one. And looking forward to finishing this short portage from the car. A little bit longer than I remember it, but what can you do? So formally on this trip, we're paddling the navigable section of the MacIntosh Run watershed. It starts up in behind the exhibition center on the Prospect Bay Road, where that's more or less the height of land. From there, the water trickles down a brook in through Long Lake Provincial Park and down into Long Lake, where we currently are paddling. And just in behind me is where it filters down in through to the lake before it starts making its way south into Spryfield and down to Heron Cove. So our goals for this trip, I've been wanting to do it for a long time. I grew up in Heron Cove, down on the last lake in the system, Powers Pond. And as a kid, and even now, I routinely do the small, about 3.5 to 4 kilometer portage route that is at the bottom of that system. I believe that it was created by Jan from A4 Adventure. And as a kid, my mother always said that Jan had done a similar trip, starting up in Spryfield and making its way down. And so I've always been a little envious and wanted to formally complete that trip myself. It's not a hard trip as far as the distance. I imagine today we'll probably only cover maybe 10 to 13 kilometers in total distance, but there's not a lot of water. It's April the 9th, 2023, and the lake is not high and the system is not high. The MacIntosh Run Watershed Association they've put together some beautiful mountain bike trails that start in Governor's Brook in Spryfield behind the Lions Rink, and it takes you all the way down to just about Heron Cove along the MacIntosh Run and watershed. And so I get out there quite a bit and do a lot of running, and I know that the water levels are not very high. They're not low by any means, but they're not high. So that'll make this trip painfully slow, most likely. But this is a good way for me to start the season. I have a couple of big trips planned for the year, and so this will give me a good opportunity to get out, test out my equipment, the camera. This is the first time that I've taken the GoPro out once or twice now, but it is the first kind of voyage for it, and recording it as well. So those are our main goals and objectives for today. We're looking at about a kilometer to a kilometer and a half left before we reach our first major obstacle. This lake, Long Lake, is actually held up by a dam constructed to be a reservoir of such, and that's just along the Old Sambro Road, where the kayak and paddleboard rental shop is. That stretch of the lake there is held back by a dam. We're going to try and traverse the dam and see if there's any water down in below on the other side. I believe there's a small brook that will run into a still water in front of the Spryfield Cotton Williams Fry Center, which should be no problem to navigate through there. And then our second major obstacle is crossing under or over, depending on what I find, the Heron Cove Road. And then we'll descend down largely unimpeded by any major road obstacles. There'll be plenty of portaging, lining, dragging, scraping, and you bet all the rest of it, which will keep us occupied. But I was hoping to get out early enough that I could skip the traffic this morning in case I do have to cross the road. Not too often are people expecting to see a canoe crossing the street, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I doubt you can hear them this morning, but we just had our first sign of some wildlife today. First time I've heard them this year as well, a pair of loons this morning. Beautiful call. Like I say, I'm not sure you can hear them on the camera, but it's nice to hear. I've seen lots of goose and geese this year so far, ducks, etc. On the trip, although it is a very urbanized area, there is still lots of wildlife to be seen. There's lots of deer along the route, and I know for certain, sorry Mr. Duck, that there's a couple of beaver dams, beaver lodges, and our route takes us right past those. I know they're active dams, and I doubt we'll see any based on the time we're going through, but there is a lot of activity, and it's great to have an area like that so close to the city of Halifax that you can get out and enjoy, and it also highlights the importance of that trail system for the area and allowing people to access the outdoors in a way that's not too disruptive to that habitat. Alright, so guys, we're coming up to our first obstacle, and that is the dam. The question for us is going to be, how are we going to get around the dam? We're going to pull up on the rocks here and take a little look. There's a weir up ahead. It's all completely dry, but I think it's that way most of the time. So we're going to have a look here and see if it's going to be a long walk to Bolorama on the sidewalk, or if we're going to be able to paddle any of this on the other side, or line it, drag it. Alrighty, here's your weir, and there's water flowing. I can totally, I'll be able to come up here. Otherwise, as you can see, the boat just down there. It's quite steep to get up, so I'll be able to come in through here. That's totally fine. And there is water moving. We definitely can't go under, but I don't think this embankment, this weir, will be too much of a huge problem into the spillway. But the question is, how much of this snarl do I want to deal with? Maybe worth it. Walk down a little ways and see how it looks, but again, this was major obstacle number one, and there's always the sidewalk, so that's the plan. Well, I've got a look, and I think that through the trees there, you can probably just make out the bridge. You can see the road sign there in yellow. The river runs down through that, and from there we should have better paddling. I think we're going to take the sidewalk on this one. It's pretty snarly down there, and it's just going to be a huge waste of time. But you can see there's a boat back there. The dam certainly does its job, because we're looking at quite a long way down. If I were to guess, probably a good 40 meters as my educated guess. But we're going to take the beautiful boat launch right over there, come along the walking trail, and take the crosswalk, and we'll see how we fare. As I said at the start, this is a major obstacle that I anticipated. Hopefully we can get around it with no huge hang-ups. I'm not going to climb down. I guess I'm going to have to walk back. All right, let's start the walk. No problem crossing the street. No problem. This truly is, though, an urban portage. I'll show you guys. It doesn't get any more urban than this. But you know what? There's a reason they build roads. It saves you a ton of time and energy in dealing with that snarl. And believe me, we're gonna have a lot of snarl to go on this trip. So we're doing ourselves a huge time saver as far as what's in store. All right, guys, here's our bridge. Here's the canoe. And there's our first still, flat water, right ahead. I think we're gonna line this section real quick and get going. Formally, the water at the bridge is at the number 4 over there. So conditions wise, that's where we're at. There's major hurdle number 1. Time of day is 8:30. And we've done 5 kilometers this morning. So, a great start. Up next, we're just in a small little still here. There's the Boulderama. Sun is glaring there, but looks like a short portage, probably a mess. Then we should be able to paddle for a little ways. So as we get a little closer, guys, there might be some excitement. I might be able to sneak paddle a little bit here on the right side. If we scrape and get wet feet, that's okay. We don't mind. Let's see if we can just sneak on down through here, though. If we can't, then whatever. I also have no idea how much water is, but let's see what we can do. As expected, that's okay. Now we're actually back in the boat. Trying our luck yet again. This surely is going to be another scrape, but maybe a wiggle. No, that's okay. But we're down the end. Great practice though. I've only done this a couple of times, so hopefully my knowledge that I've learned will go to good rest. Well, we've made it most of the way down here. We're now right just passing by the Dry Center. Been a lot of getting out, lining, getting back in this last couple 100 meters or so, but as you can see, I should be able to do a little more paddling here in a minute. In fact, I think I'll get right back into it now. I'm expecting that this is going to be a lot of my day today. I am technically on a very strict time limit. We have Easter dinners to get to later on, but I think we're making okay time. There we go. So that section, I thought I'd be able to paddle a lot more of it. This winter, when I was having a look at a couple of the sections here, I figured that I'd have more water right along the bowling alley. But this is going to be interesting. Coming up, we have 2 geese and some goslings. Coming up to our next major obstacle. The bridge, this is Heron Cove Road we're coming up to. This has been a nice little flat water in here. Lots of birds, ducks, of course those geese. But I don't know if this is going to be gated. And if it is gated, I don't know, well, I know how I'll get across, but on the other side, it's going to be a lot of the same thing, and I'm going to want to portage a lot of. There's a beautiful trail there that goes along the run, and if I can portage a lot more of that stuff, then I will. But it looks like I should have pretty smooth sailing. It'll be shallow, but I can definitely get through here. So, excellent. So here's an update. It's been a time hopping and getting under these branches and stuff, but there's a little bit of flat water ahead of me. I'm hoping I can paddle it. If I can't, at least it'll be easier walking. And the trail is coming up. We're very close now, and that will save me huge time. All right, guys. We're now gonna go for a walk. We're coming up on, actually we're on the MacIntosh Run Trail now. It goes from just beyond the bridge section where we last were, and it's a nice gravel walkway all the way to Roach's Pond, which is on the Heron Cove Road. It's total length, I'd say it's about 3 kilometers, but we're only just going to do until the next set of still water. We're going to paddle for a little while, and then we're going to get back on the trail, actually, to the next set of stills. Then there's a couple stills in a row, and more of the runs. Oh, it's not so bad. Yes, but it's a little bit easier to walk this part. Have a good day. Oh, let's try paddling from here. Alright, let's see if we can make up some time. Alright guys, we did a little scoot around there. Instead of taking the going over the lift there, it's actually a lot longer than what it looked. So when I got over there, I had a look and decided to take the trail, portage around that feature, and now we're kind of cruising along here. This is kind of the last little bit that I'll probably paddle. There's a big chute coming up, and I already planned on portaging that one, so I've kept my bag on, and I'll mosey over there and paddle that section. Alright guys, 10:30 in the morning. I've done all of the major lifting I figure I have to do to get down the trail. I am sure I'm getting myself into a whole bunch more snarls, tarls, and you name it. But 10:30 in the morning. I have to be available to be picked up at 4 o'clock. I'm slightly worried about the time, but if I'm correct about what lies ahead, I should be able to make up some good ground. And I know I can do the bottom section quickly. Just a matter of getting there. We're going to plug away, and if it gets really bad, we'll see. I want to give myself lots of time to make any adjustments to my plan. There's a couple of spots that I can get out reasonably easily. Ahead, there is a point of no return as far as my accessibility goes, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to just dig deep here and push through. Alright guys, just got through Snarl City back there. We did a little bushwhack portage. Ahead of us though, we've got looks like some wide open water. I'm definitely running out of day though. It's now 10 after 11. Realistically I gotta make a decision as to what I want to do. Could push and only get so far and then be in a real pickle, or I can cut my losses, take my time, and basically do this in 2 days. One day to do the top section, another to do the bottom section. I realize that it won't. If it were to keep going like this, wide open for a little ways, wouldn't even be a problem. But I'm gonna put the hammer down and see how far I can get. We're just kind of coming across Roach's Pond or thereabouts, so it's possible I could get out there and then just see if there's a good kind of put in that I can come back to. But yeah, we'll have to see. All right, guys, this might be the natural conclusion point for today for me. We have reached a real snarl. Here's the boat. Nice long section of flat water. I think we're just in off of Princeton Avenue or Drive, whatever it is. I had a lot left to do today, and it's now 11:30. So I'm going to pack it in. I'm going to turn around. You can see the ball field, Roach's Pond ball field, from where up on that flat water there. I'm gonna go back there and get picked up, and then maybe I'll come back and do this another time. Maybe I won't. I am just gonna see if I can't sneak over and see what's beyond this. My curiosity is the better of me. I think that on this trip for the start of the year, I can probably say, oh, it'll get better just around the corner, probably all day. And I know that for certain sections, it's only actually going to get worse. So I think we'll have a peek, and then yeah, go with that plan. Okay, so I think that I probably could keep going a little while and then be back into the exact same thing again. So instead, I think I'm on a little fishing trail here now, where Canoe is just up through there. It's not far. There's just no real obvious way to take the boat out. I saw some flags there. I think they're there for this section here. Kind of an embankment that goes up and along. But there's no real way to get the boat to that. I could sit here and chop trail like I did a minute or two ago. But as you can see, older. But it's all beaver that has long abandoned this bit, and now it's kind of the mess that it is. I am going to try and continue following this little pathway though. I can tell somebody's walking it, or we're walking it. I probably could get the boat through here. You can just see the boat over there now. And here are the flags right there. So maybe, I could drag up in probably, but I think in all reality what I'll do is I'll walk it. I'll come back and walk it, and then see if it's worth it to do that second section. But overall, I'm not actually that disappointed. We did have a good start to the morning, and we got through all along lake, and we got all the way past our place, all the way to here, Roach's Pond. That in itself was a pretty big accomplishment. I spent a lot of time this morning waiting and lining, and if this was going to be just a lot more waiting and lining, I probably would have just kept going. But it's these kind of impenetrable bits that I'm not super keen on doing. They can be done, and on a longer trip I would do them naturally if I have more time, but it's Easter Monday again, and we have dinner to go to, and I'm not gonna be sitting here wasting all my time today cutting on a route that I'll probably never do again in its entirety. Maybe if it was like the water was super high, but even then on this particular section, the elevation drop is so quick that the more water you'd have in here, it just would be faster and it'd be almost unmanageable. All those sections that I was wading and lining, you wouldn't want to have any more water in there because you would be just totally going way too fast. There's all kinds of sweepers and boulders and stuff. You just end up pinned the entire time. So, you know, this was a perfect way to start the season. Good practice in a lot of ways. So, all good. Beauty little takeout here, and I think actually I might have got lucky. Made the right decision, and this might be a trail just right up to the ball field. Let's find out. Oh, boy, I tell you right now, these kind of things just all day. Megan got me a brand new shirt. That's nice. Brand new shirt for and pants for canoeing this year. This is just somebody's woodlot. I'm gonna have to keep going. That's okay. Okay. The public takeout is not nearly as glamorous, but the ball field is just through the trees there. So a little bit of a whack and snarl, and then we're home. But this section is nice. I think people probably come down here, come fishing, and all the rest of it. There's still a good bit of current through here, so. Right up at the end of there is where I had pushed. I had come down onto this flat water. It's not terribly long, but for this trip, it classifies as very long. So, alrighty. I will say though, equipment worked great. Camera worked great. My back's good. So, all is well that ends well. I'll save you the scraping.